All right, artists, we are on value warm-up number 10. And what we're going to try to do today is apply the knowledge that we've learned um, trying to draw something real. We're going to use color. We're going to see how close we can get to this apple. Now, we're not going to do this big because if we do, it will take us forever. But we're going to try to draw it the best we can. I'm going to start with pencil just to give myself some guidelines, and I've done this once already, and I actually um, used the colored pencil to do my outlines, and it worked out really nicely. So I might should have done that again, but we'll see what happens. The nice thing about pencil is that I can erase it. I give myself a couple of guidelines on the inside here where this dent is in the fruit. And I'm going to draw the stem. I'm leaving off the leaf. I don't care about the leaf. Alright, looks like an apple to me. So I'm going to pick one color of red. And guys, you don't have to use red. You can use another color if you like. I'm just choosing red because that's what color the apple is, and I don't want to throw you guys off by picking a different color. So the way I'm going to start this is by doing a light layer of red over almost the entire thing. The only place I won't do the red is where that highlight is on the upper left. What I'm going to do is actually draw around it. Give myself a little guideline there. And there's also a very light place right in here that I'll kind of stay away from. I'm not quite as worried about that one, but I'm going to start out very, very lightly. Just give myself an entire layer of the red to work with. So that it looks like a pink apple. And I'm actually, okay, I was going to erase my pencil line, but I don't know where my eraser is, so that's okay. We'll just have to live with it. So, you can see in the picture that on this edge, there's this very light place there. And so a little bit back from it, it starts to get darker. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my colored pencil, and I'm going to start to draw that darker area in. And you can also see that across the apple right around through here, there's kind of a place where the color changes and it's a little darker in the top. And then there's this crazy looking shape right here. Kind of like that. Right? On the top here, you can see there's some dark layers. And I'm not going to talk through all this. I just want you guys to realize that whenever I go to color something like this and show value, I've really got to be looking at it. If I'm not looking at it and I'm trying to guess at this, I'm going to get a result that doesn't look real in the end. And the tough thing about drawing from real life is that a lot of times what we see is not what we actually think it should look like. And so we have to trust our eyes rather than trusting our minds. And if you have a hard time doing that, then you're going to have a really hard time making a realistic drawing, because you just have to look and draw what you see and trust your eyes. So let this be an experiment for you. If you struggle with that, let this be an experiment where you just say, okay, I'm not going to think about what I'm drawing. I'm just going to trust my eyes and draw what I see. So once I get kind of the basic areas where my shapes or my different values are, once I get it kind of divided up to where what I can see, then I'm just going to go in and start building up values. A good trick to use when you need to blend a darker to a lighter value is, of course, to lighten your pressure, but also to go in a circular motion. Teeny tiny circular motion. And it helps it look softer. Always helps to have a very sharp pencil. And see how I'm slowly working up to darker and darker, because I can always make it darker, but I can't make it lighter. Once I get it too dark, I'm done for. So I'm just being very cautious about how quickly I make things dark. Just found my eraser, so I'm going to get rid of this pencil line because I don't think it's helping the way my apple looks. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Now, this is going to take you a little longer than what a normal warm-up does, but this is applying what we've learned so far about value. So we really can get an idea of what we know, and let's get a chance to practice. Okay, so my values are not quite as dark as the values of the apple that I'm looking at, but that's because this pencil is only going to get so dark. Its tone is not equal to what you're seeing in the picture, what I'm seeing in the picture. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing around with using some other color to bring in some of the interesting features. On this one side of the orange, there's a couple of orange apple. There's some orange that's pulled in. I think it's just from the highlight. And also, here's like a plum color that I'm using. And if I go over this red with it, it'll darken it up a little. And down here it will, I think it'll help a little bit. A little more of that. A little bit of orange there. Okay, and then I also have a black, which I gotta be really careful with. Because if I go overboard with this, then I'm gonna make my apple look like it's rotten. I'm just gonna touch the darkest places here. If I wanted to, I could put a little shadow here underneath. Doesn't look like it's floating away. Okay. Use it to do the stem. Should really use a brown, but it'll be fine. Okay, so it's not perfect. It looks a lot darker on my page than it does on the screen, I think. And I could go back and I could keep working on this, and I probably will, to make it a little more solid, a little darker where it needs to be darker. But you get the idea. The more I practice at making these values, the better I'm going to get at it. So I'm interested to see you guys' apple. Yes, I want you to do the apple. It is up there on canvas for you, so have at it. Until next time, see you later.